Among them was a young man with hot blood and a bold character. This young man made a bet with the others that he would accomplish something impossible. He would receive alms from the most hard-hearted man in the city, Peter. The poor laughed at his idea, but he was determined. In Africa, there once lived a tax collector named Peter. He was a wealthy man, but his heart was hard and merciless. He knew nothing of charity and felt no pity for the poor who suffered. One winter day, some beggars were sitting in the sun, enjoying its warmth. Among them was a young man with hot blood and a bold character. This young man made a bet with the others that he would accomplish something impossible. He would receive alms from the most hard-hearted man in the city, Peter. The poor laughed at his idea, but he was determined. He went to Peter's house and stood outside the door. He waited patiently for the wealthy tax collector to return from his work. At the same moment that Peter arrived home, the baker also came. The baker was carrying a large basket full of freshly baked bread for the household. The beggar approached Peter and asked him for alms in a humble voice, but the wealthy tax collector rejected him with harsh words and told him to leave. The poor man would not leave his presence and continued to ask for alms. Peter became very angry at his persistence and looked for something to throw at him. He found nothing else nearby and grabbed a loaf of bread from the basket. He threw it angrily at the beggar to hit him and drive him away. But this was exactly what the poor man had been waiting for from the beginning. He grabbed the bread with joy and left triumphantly to win the bet. 2 days later, Peter became gravely ill and fell into bed. He then saw a terrifying vision that frightened him to the depths of his soul. He found himself before the divine tribunal, where people are judged for their deeds. There was an enormous scale that weighed the actions of his life. On one side stood many dark demons who placed his sins on the scale. On the other side stood a few radiant angels who had no good works to offer. Then his guardian angel remembered the bread he had thrown to the poor man. He placed it on the scale, and the bread weighed as much as all the sins together. The angels told him to leave and perform more acts of charity. Otherwise, the demons would take him with them forever.